All right, the video will roll, and we'll bring her in. There she is. She's joined us before. Iva Jovic, fresh off her first major quarterfinal, now in the top 20, the youngest player in the top 100. Eva, great to see you. You got myself, Jeff, Nick, of course, and Brad Gilbert. Just congrats on the great run. And now that you're back stateside, what does this week look like?
This week has been a little bit of chilling since I got back from the flight, and now back to training and getting ready for all the next tournaments. So the season is only just beginning.
All right.
Eva, it's been so much fun watching you progress. I mean, we've had you now on the show a bunch of times, and now you're 20 in the world, quarterfinalist there at Australian Open. Tell us, how was that run? How did that feel going through that run there in Melbourne and playing against Sabalenka there in the quarterfinals? Maybe just give us that feel of how it was in Melbourne for you.
Yeah, I hope I keep coming on this show every so often, because it's a little bit of like a progress report.
Yeah.
And every time we're a little bit
better. It's a report card, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully we can keep that going. No, but it was so much fun. I mean, Melbourne is truly a special place, and the slam itself is so welcoming and easy to be around. Everyone's so nice. So it's a pleasure, a dream to be there. But the matches were obviously amazing. It's a different feel at the slam, having, the days off. It gets quite long, and there's a lot of people that you kind of see around. So a lot of interaction outside the tennis, and it's a lot about kind of trying to stay in your bubble and try to stay focused. But I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, playing all those matches gave me a lot of insight of what I need to work on and what's been going well. And then obviously you want to play the world number one as well, and see what you need to improve on. So I mean, so much more to come in the season. So I'm just looking forward to using this to do a lot better as well.
Eva, about 3 months ago, you were on with the three of us, and it was early in the morning, and you were testing out cars. I think you would maybe just kind of, so that was like going to be your purchase. So I'm curious now, you turned 18, before the Australian Open. You do not have the restriction anymore on tournaments that you can play. So how has that changed? You already played 3 tournaments to start the year. Are you going to be more active? Are you going to do more training? And what's the one area of your game that, if you had, a crystal ball, that you really want to work on to get better?
So I did purchase my car. I got a Toyota RAV4. It's like a teal blue. I call her Smurfette. She's the exact color of the Smurfs.
Nice.
So I decided to keep it the same.
Let's go.
I decided to keep it the same as my mom's car that I learned how to drive on.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's been an easy transition. And yeah, now no more tournament restrictions. So it's nice to have that feeling of, I can play, and if I have a bad week, or if I want to play more, it's just nice to have that freedom, I think, mentally. And obviously it's good for the ranking opportunity if you can play more. But I still want to try to train and make sure I'm getting a lot of blocks in where I can actually get better, because it's difficult if you're just popping through the tournaments every week. So I'm going to try to find time for that as well. But the big thing I think I'm working on right now is the serve. I think a lot of these players at the top of the game, they hold serve. It's not easy to break them. So you need to be sharp with those serve +1 patterns and be able to hang on to your service games, because you're not going to get looks to break every time.
When we watch the top of the women's game, it's hard for fans not to be like in awe for the power of Sabalenka, Rybakina, like the speed of Coco, all those things. Clearly, you belong. You're in the top 20, but when you're first up and close with that, especially when you took on Sabalenka, is it hard not to feel like a little intimidating? And of course, it's cliche that when you lose, you learn. What mainly did you learn from that match against Sabalenka in the quarters?
Yeah, I think that's how it always is. So far, everything that I've done in tennis has just been about climbing levels. In the beginning, playing someone top 300 WTA was intimidating, So now the intimidating factor is playing, the number ones and the top 5. So obviously I think it's the same thing, this is the different level, and that's what I've had to do through my entire career. It hasn't been that long yet, but through all the juniors and everything, you have to adapt to the higher level, and adjust to it. I think what it is about now is being able to have those quick fire points, to be really sharp at the beginning of the point. There isn't a lot of time to get into it, so you need to really know what you want to do, have a plan, and execute it. So I think I need to just get better at those first couple punches so that I can get into the point more often.
Well, Iva, now being 20 in the world, I mean, there's so many people they were paying attention to you already, but now they're really paying attention to you. So how do you handle the expectations now of now players are going to come after you a little bit more as well? And what do you tell yourself in these key situations in matches? Because you were absolutely so dialed in, and that's why it's so much fun to watch as well.
Yeah, I think definitely focus is one of my strengths. I have a bit of a hyper focus, but honestly, I mean, people expect more, sure, but I don't particularly care that much what people think and what they say. I think I'm probably my biggest critic anyway. So if I'm happy with myself, then I know I'm doing pretty well because I raise the bar pretty high.
How much do you study watching, other players play and studying some great players that are your size to learn from how they played and got to the next level, not being 6 feet tall?
Yeah, honestly, I love watching tennis. I think I'm one of the players that probably watches the most tennis. I was staying up till 3 a.m. to watch the men's and women's final, so probably not great for my daily activities, but I had to. So I think I consider myself a student of the game. I really like to learn about tennis, about how it's evolved through the generations. I watched a little bit of old school tennis as well at the AO because a couple of Jelena Dokic and Louise Fleming were giving me some insight about who I think I play more like, Martina Hingis or Monica Seles. So I was watching some of them as well, trying to see who I think I resemble more. I've come to the conclusion that I think Martina Hingis is the one I play more like. Yeah. But I love watching tennis. I think you can learn so much, and I think that no matter how good you get or how much better you get, you'll always be a student of the game, and tennis will always win.
But from an outside perspective, Iva, I mean, we get you on this show, and it's a little more relaxed, and it's always great to catch up with you, but you always just seem super smiley and happy to do the interviews, and it's also very honest and insightful. Like, how has it been adjusting to all the media obligations, more so with the interviews and everything, because you actually kind of seem like you enjoy it a little bit. Can you take us through like that kind of new life for all these interviews now that you're going through?
Yeah, I honestly don't know where it came from because I never really had any media training or anything like this, but I quite enjoy it. It's pretty easy for me. I think I just like talking, so that's probably why. Talking is easy for me, and I love tennis. I love to talk about it. I love to talk about what I'm doing, and I think it's part of your contribution to tennis and the sport, and giving back, giving the viewers and the public a little insight into the everyday life and things that we're kind of dealing with. Nobody wants to hear kind of the cookie cutter and what they see on the TV. So I like to give my contribution and be as honest as I can.
Iva, I got kind of a two-part question here. You mentioned Martina Hingis, that you feel like maybe you play similar to her. You also spoke to Novak in Melbourne. What did the GOAT say to you?
Oh my God, it was. I think that was the biggest win of the trip. It wasn't the results. It wasn't anything like that. It was speaking to Novak and hearing what he has to say and just how he goes about himself, just watching him a little bit, not in a creepy way, but just observing the things that he does, the amount of time that he spends in the gym working on himself. Everything is so structured. And it's amazing, but he's still, despite all that, he still finds the time to talk to the younger players like myself, and he really wants to help. And he was giving me very specific information about my game and things that I can improve. So it was obvious that he was watching. So it's really special, and the way he carries himself, so sophisticated, so intelligent. It's really impressive to see an athlete who is so well-rounded. So, just want to be as much as I can like Novak. That's the goal.
Well, there's always somebody watching, and just because you're mentioning that as far as him being inspiring, you've been so inspiring for all the kids there in Lake Nona at the USTA facility. I mean, I was telling the story not too long ago about, being there in December and watching just how you go about your work. And I remember it was 7:15 in the morning. You were coming out of one of the massage rooms. You had your yoga mat, headphones on, and I think you remember that. I was speaking with Philip Farmer there, and you came out, you were by yourself, lights were off. And I was like, wow, what's going on? And I think you were doing some stretching, visualization, whatnot for the practice that day. So maybe you can kind of fill us in on, your mindset day in and day out, what your preseason days look like, and kind of what you focus on.
Yeah, preseason was intense. I think I was probably the first one in the gym and the last one
You
out
were.
pretty much every day. So.
Yeah.
A lot of work to get stronger, faster in the gym. But when you're doing so much, you also have to stretch a lot and do a lot of mobility and all of this stuff to keep yourself healthy. So it's a little bit of a balancing board. And I think it's important to put all that time in your body, especially when you have those blocks, because during the year, there's just not a lot of time. And you're almost going to lose gains and speed and strength if you don't do a lot during the preseason, because when you're competing, there's just not a lot of time to put in that work. And then on the court, I made some technical changes, tried to clean up my serve, my forehand, some footwork patterns as well. So there were a lot of changes, honestly. But I think, the only way you're not improving if you're keeping things the same. Everyone's changing. I mean, Alcaraz just changed his serve. He's one in the world, has 7 Grand Slams now. So if you're not changing things, if you're not trying new things, then you're not.
That's a good point.
You're not going to
What
get
I
better.
loved about that was your coach didn't even know that you were in there that early in the morning doing that yourself. So for the juniors and people watching this, you don't have to have your coach telling you what to do. Because I asked Tom Gutteridge that afternoon, I said, hey, did you know Iva was stretching and doing what she was doing at 7:15 in the morning before the 9 a.m. practice? And he was like, well, what was she doing? And I told him, and he didn't even know. So your mindset is just spot on, and that's why you're doing great things.
Eva, are you headed to the desert? You going to Doha, Dubai? And then what do you make of Craig Tiley's comments that potentially in the 27 Aussie Open, but maybe he's going to the USTA first, so maybe it comes to the 26 US Open. From the quarters on, he wants to see women play best of 5 in the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, I saw this comment. So yeah, I'm skipping Doha, but I will be playing Dubai and then coming back for the Austin, Indian Wells, Miami, doing the whole US swing, which is very exciting. And I saw that comment, actually. I know a couple of the girls were already giving some negative feedback. For me, if that's the decision that's going to be made, I welcome it with open arms. I mean, I think I'm very fit, and I like the marathon mentality. Honestly, I focus very well, and I think if anything, it maybe gives you more time to figure out the game. And when you're playing these really big hitters, strong players, it gives you a little bit more time to get into it, and it does truly become very long and very taxing. But if that's what the decision that they want to make, I'm here for it, and I'm ready to adjust. It'll be interesting, but I'm definitely not opposed.
I'm excited to get the answer from a lot of players. What a great response that was. You made the transition so easy from junior to pro. Last year, rookie season, you obviously didn't get to play a full schedule, but I think 14-10. Not a lot of people have a winning season in their first season, but I just assume in junior tennis, like, you basically expected to win almost every tournament. Have you had to actively think about how a lot of these weeks that the week is going to end with a loss? Because with you specifically, they're just, I don't know, you probably aren't that used to losing. And so, you're always giving the right responses, but have you gotten more used to that feeling and like anticipating that, kind of, I don't know, being okay with it?
Yeah, I've definitely gotten more used to it. In the juniors, it's different. There's a couple of the top girls that every week you're having battles with, but the first couple rounds you're kind of cruising, and it's just easier to make deep runs. And no, I really didn't lose a lot. And every time I lost, it was the end of the world, And if in the pros, even if you're one in the world, you're losing pretty much every week.
Yeah.
So if it's the end of the world every week, that's a problem. So I've had to make big adjustments with that. I'm still not great with losing. It still takes me too long to adjust, and I'm not very reasonable afterwards. I don't know if I'm ever gonna truly get used to that, honestly, because I hate losing way too much. But I'm definitely getting better. Will I say that I'm good at it? No, I give myself a really hard time, but what can you do? We're not great at everything.
No, Iva, I mean, it's been just so much fun to watch. And, since you are goal-oriented, what does success look like for you in the coming months? Beyond wins and rankings, what does success look like for you?
Well, my New Year's resolution that me and Tom talked about was to not miss in the net anymore.
Nice.
Which is a funny one, but no, we were looking at a lot of those stats and everything, and we were like, Eva, I mean, you're missing everything in the dang net. Let's just take that out of the equation. So that's a very simple goal that I've been working on. I'm missing long more now, less in the net, which is great to start with. But no, in reality, I wanna be consistent here. Honestly, I wanna make deep runs every week. I wanna just have that presence every week, be a contender. Which so far I've done a good job winning a lot of matches. That's important to me. Just the building. I'm not that player that blows hot and then has a couple tough first round exits. I wanna just be there every week, fighting mentally and taking care of business, really, and then. Obviously, titles. You want titles, but I think to start with, just winning matches consistently.
You know what? When I've watched you play quite a bit, it's interesting to hear yourself. You're your harshest critic. You're tough on yourself. But when you play, normally the people who are like that are really hard on themselves. I'm most impressed with your attitude on court and your ability to, reset next point. Where did that come from?
Yeah, that came from, I don't even know, honestly. I used to be very angry when I was little. I definitely have that in me, but I've learned to kind of compress it in a way that's more beneficial. I get much more angry on the practice court than I do on the match court. It's a little bit of my motto that whatever you do in the practice, however hard you're working, however much you're applying yourself, that's where the real work happens. And then in the match, this is just a product of all the work you've put in. So there's really no reason to get upset or be down, this and that, because this is just the showcase. The real work happened in the practice. So that's where you have to be hard on yourself and demand the most. And in the match, you really just have to fight and do the best to compete. And for me, competing well is staying calm and not getting down on myself. So that's what I do during the matches. Then in the practice, you better make sure that you're doing everything right, because otherwise those matches are not going to be going well.
After a long 2 weeks and a long flight, I speak for the entire Tennis Channel team, so thankful for you to come on and give us like 20 minutes, especially on an off week. So just a huge congrats from us on an amazing week.
Get 'em in
we
Dubai.
love catching up with you. So impressive in so many ways. We hope to keep talking to you, and we're excited to see you on the court next.
Thank you. Yes, hopefully I'm back soon with the new progress report.
Absolutely.
All right. Congrats on the card, too.
Thanks,
Smurf.
Eva. Thanks,
Thank
Eva.
you. Yes,
Time.
thank you guys.